Hey everyone, today I'm honored to have Sai Lee, the man himself. So Sai is an old friend, and I met him through me prospecting for homes to sell. And Sai had a house to sell that he had flipped, and then the idea or kind of intrigued me. So I started talking to him about it. So Sai, um, how are you, my friend? And it's good to see you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah,
So
I'm good, Elias. Yeah, thanks for having me here, man.
yeah, appreciate it. So I obviously I want to talk about your business and flipping homes and what do you do? What's it like?
Sure, absolutely,
Yeah,
man. Where would you like to start?
yeah. So I know that you also are doing some sort of program for people that want to get into flipping homes as well. So, what's it like to invest in real estate? I mean, is it something hard that anyone can do, or is it for everybody? Or you've been doing it for a while. You're a pro at it. Uh, for somebody that is always thinking about it and wants to start, what is the first step that they have to take, that they need to take?
Well, let's see. I mean, there's a lot of first steps that you can take, but I think like if I was brand new, I would look at it in this light. Okay. Number one, I think that if you're starting out from nothing, it I find that the people that have like already a property, you got equity in it, okay, maybe you have some rentals, whatever that might be. Like if you have collateral, I just feel that you have a way better chance. Okay. The reason why is because if you have collateral, you can actually borrow against it. Now you have leverage. Go
Right,
get a home equity line of credit against the house, whatever. Now you actually have money to grow your real estate investing business. If you're starting from zero, you have like no houses and stuff. I'm not saying it's not impossible. It could totally be possible if you don't own nothing. Okay. However, I'm just saying the guys who have leverage, they're going to have access to capital. That's all it is. All right. So I would start there. Figure out what you have access to. And then after that, you have to pick a strategy. You got to figure out what strategy works the best based on your current situation. So I'll give you an
right,
example. Let's just say that, you're not even making more than 100 grand a year right now. Okay. Let's just say you're making less than 100,000 bucks right now, 100 grand a year. And um, and you're trying to get into real estate investing. And maybe you have all these expenses and stuff. Well, going and buying rental properties and then, maybe if you're lucky, cash flowing $100 a month, $200 a month, that's not exactly going to change your life today, right?
exactly.
I'm not saying that buying rental properties is a bad idea. I think that buying rental properties is a good strategy for the long term. But if you want to make real estate investing like your full-time thing, how many houses do you think you're going to need that makes $100, $200 a month before you can actually retire from what you're actually doing currently, right? So
Exactly.
you have to consider your situation and figure out, okay, where do I want to go? And you have to pick the right strategy to match that. So like when I started, I wanted to get out of my 9 to 5 as quick as possible. That was my goal, and I'm like, okay, well, buying rental properties isn't going to help me get there anytime soon. So that's why I started with flipping houses first, because I know that if I'm flipping houses, I only need to do a couple a year in order to replace my current income. And then now I have freedom. I'm like, okay, cool. I
Yes,
have freedom now to go out and build on top of the strategy. I can take more risk. I can do a whole bunch of other things and actually grow a business. Plus, I'm actually making active income. So now I use that active income for what? For marketing dollars to build a business. You can't go buy a rental property when you're broke and expect to build an empire of a real estate business. It's just a lot tougher if you're going to go that route. You got to be really patient with if you go that route. So that's kind of like where you got to start. You're gonna go look at the whole picture.
nice. No, that's a great idea. Cash flow is kind of hard in our area. If you're not putting
Absolutely.
more than 35% down, then you're looking probably 35% down, you're not even gonna break even probably in our area on cash flow. And you nailed it. How many properties do I need to buy to make $3,000 a month? If I'm making $100 off each property, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it's kind of like what do you want and when do you want to get there? Exactly like you said it. Yeah. So so obviously you prefer flipping over rentals. So what does it take to flip a property?
So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can go the conventional way, which is like you're gonna put some skin in the game. You're gonna go get a down payment. All right. And it's usually 20% down, maybe a little bit more. It all
Yeah.
depends on the risk appetite of the private lender you're gonna go get. Okay. So example, if you buy like a really, really distressed house, it's like falling apart and it's gonna need like over six figures to put back together. You know what? You might need more than 20% down. Okay, because you got to understand a private lender needs to finance that flip. And so they want more skin in the game because it's higher risk. It needs a lot more work. And when I say higher risk, it means because it needs like they're basically depending on you knowing what you're doing, putting six figures into the house, putting it back together properly, not just putting, any like type of renovations in it, putting it back together properly and then selling it and making a profit, right?
Making it
That's kind of
saleable.
like that's kind of like the most conventional way of flipping houses
Okay.
is to put your own skin and do it and do all the renovations, hire contractors, basically what you see in the TV shows, right? And then there's the other, it's a lot more like I would call it a unconventional way, which is like what I do. I love wholesaling. So wholesaling is
Mhm.
a real estate investing strategy. It's a great strategy for rookies and beginners because it requires no money. Like all we
Oh,
are doing is we're putting existing properties under contract. Like this is not like brand new construction or nothing. These are existing homes. We're putting them under contract. And then we're going to assign our equitable interest in that contract to somebody else. It's like doing an assignment.
yeah.
And the reason why we can do that with no money down, the reason why we can do that with the without us having to go get a mortgage and all that, or even hiring contractors and needing renovations money, is because you have to think of it like this. We're doing an assignment on an existing home. We're gonna flip it, that
Mhm.
contract to somebody else who's gonna pay us more for it. So ultimately,
All right.
all we're doing is we're collecting the spread. The end buyer, the person that we are ultimately going to flip that property to, or that contract to, they are the ones that are going to close. They're the ones that are going to bring the renovations money. They're the ones that are going to bring the down payment.
Mhm.
And so that's why we're able to do that with no money down. In my opinion, I think it's one of the best, and I might be biased, but I'm just gonna like I truly believe, in my opinion, it is by far the best strategy for anybody who wants to get into real estate investing.
No money.
Because
Mm.
because it's going to teach you the most important skills that you need, marketing and sales, right?
That's what it's all about, marketing and sales.
Yeah, because guess what? In order to run a successful business, no matter what business it is,
Exactly.
whether you're a realtor, a mortgage agent, a real estate investor, I don't even care if you're a content or influencer. Like you still need to know marketing and sales. If you want to go and buy multifamily, if you want to go buy rentals, if you want to go do burrs, you know what? You might as well learn marketing and sales because if you get good at marketing and sales, then that solves all your
Yes.
problems.
Yeah. Well, you got to market yourself and sell your services. So that's any kind of business like that. Even if you're a dentist, you got to do it too, right?
Exactly.
So that's a great idea, marketing and sales. And so we talked about the no money down, the assignment sales. What kind of risk is there involved, Sai, in these kind of transactions?
Well, if you do it right, then
Yeah,
there's very minimal risk. And so that's why I love that strategy, especially for rookies, anybody that wants to get into real estate investing,
yeah,
because ultimately what you're going to do is you're going to write a contract. There's going to be conditions and stuff in there anyways that protect you as the real estate investor. So yes, you should not be going and putting these deals under contract with no conditions and stuff like that.
yeah.
You know, like I just want to throw it out there, like please do not do this if you do not know what you're doing, because yes, you can get in some serious legal trouble. Like literally go and learn this from a professional or somebody like that where you can do this right. Not only that, I'm not a big believer in running a wholesaling business where basically you're just tying up so many contracts and then you're going to leave the seller at the closing table with an empty bag. That's not the whole point of that business. It's just not right. Like that's not the whole reason why people should
Yeah.
go do all this. Like it's just wrong. Like if you got to do it like a professional, man.
Well, I know you love helping people, and I'm pretty sure that you're doing it to help these sellers. If they have, if for some reason they can't sell the house on the market or show it to people, so you step in and you will help them. At the same time, you need to make money because you got to sustain your business as well. So, I guess if you have that mindset, then you should be okay.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, you have to have the right mindset to do it, but your intent has to be right.
Yes.
Like you said right there. Like I respect realtors. I think they do a great job. They should get paid for what they do because they work hard. Okay. But I mean, they can't solve every single seller's problem.
Exactly.
So that's why us wholesalers can go in there and be like, hey, listen, I mean, if you don't have the time to market this thing, if you need to sell this thing really quick, like, you know what? If you're paying for convenience, then I'm your guy. Like I will buy cash. Yeah, we'll buy cash, we'll get rid of it quick. Not all realtors can provide that solution. So that's why I think like wholesalers, they have their space, realtors have their space. Even when I'm buying some of these properties, Elias, and I'm wholesaling them, like it's not like I want people to understand, um, we're not stealing anybody's houses. We're not scamming anybody out of their house. I literally tell them with full disclosure, I'm just letting you know I'm a real estate investor. Okay, I'm buying this property with the sole purpose of making a profit. All right, I'm
Yes.
not going to live in here. And then you know what? We might fix and flip it. We might assign it. We might do a JV on it. I don't know what that's going to look like. I might even buy and hold it as a rental. Who knows? Okay, so I'm providing full disclosure to the seller, letting them know we're going to make money on this.
Yeah, of course. Of
Yeah.
course, they're gonna need your help, so they know what they're walking into, and obviously, you would advise them to talk to the lawyer as well, right?
Well,
Just
if
make
they
sure
want to
that,
talk to the lawyer,
yeah,
absolutely. We're like,
yeah.
great,
This way,
go
they know
talk
what
to
they're
your
walking
lawyer.
into. Because
Yeah.
I run into people a lot where they don't want to show their house to strangers, and they're just sometimes situations where they cannot get people into their house to show them, right? Sometimes the house is not in a good condition, could be a health issue, right? So that's where you step in, and you can help with them moving on.
That's right. Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good business model right there. And obviously, everybody has to make money because that's if you're providing a service, you can't do it for free. Yeah, and
Yeah. No,
just the way
absolutely
it is
not.
with
I
everything.
mean, yeah, absolutely not. Because like I said earlier, I mean, it costs marketing dollars,
Of course.
right? I got to pay people, our time as well, right? So yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it's like, hey, listen, if you provide a service, you deserve to get paid. Just like real
yes,
estate agents, right? They
yeah,
are in the business for a reason to help people find houses, to help people list houses. Of course, they should get paid.
so Sai, you said a term, which, if you don't mind, explain that to the viewers. JV.
Oh,
Sure. Okay.
okay. Absolutely.
So,
So it just means joint venture.
okay.
It's a term that is used a lot in the investing world, joint venture. That's another way that you can invest in real estate as well, right? I just caution against it, especially if you're like a rookie or if you're newer to real estate investing, because I've been in this business long enough, Elias. Like I've been doing this for like 10 years, okay?
Yeah.
And I feel that with joint ventures, it really comes down to this. Like I find that a lot of times the big sharks, they take advantage of the baby sharks.
Of course.
And so, they'll put them in really bad joint venture situations where it's like, hey, you're the baby shark, so why don't you put up all the money? Why don't you go get the down payment? Why don't you go get the mortgage and this and that? And you know what? You're basically where I'm making my money is from my experience and my time. And like I get it. Okay. They're charging them equity basically for their time and experience and all that. But come on, like you got to understand if it's that one-sided, there's no risk.
Hmm.
to the big shark. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing with joint ventures you have to be really cautious and careful about is making sure that you fully understand what the heck you're actually getting yourself into. Because I just seen it so many times that a lot of rookie investors and stuff, they just want it so bad. Like they just want to take the shortcut route.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think the shortcut route's going to get me there the quickest and stuff like that. I don't advise it. Like, listen, guys, you want to build a proper business, man. Like, it just takes a lot of hard work, dedication, man. It's not for everybody, but it just takes some serious hard work, dedication, go learn everything you possibly can about it. Take some massive action. It will pay off way, way bigger than trying to take a shortcut route and then screwing up.
Well, yeah, you got to put in the elbow grease, like you said, and
Yeah,
like any kind of business, if you don't put some sweat in it, then shortcuts don't last long.
absolutely.
You get there, but that's it. It's just around the corner. You're not gonna go the long way. Yeah. So there's one other thing I wanted to ask you about is one of the things you see a lot of people use the term BRRR, BRRR. So what does that mean? Like all these letters?
Yeah, so I mean, you can Google it if you want. B with four R's. Like, here's the thing. I'm gonna give you the most simplest form of it. That's why. Okay.
Okay.
So the most simplest form of doing a BRRRR is this. You have to think of it like this. You're gonna go buy a property under market value.
Mm.
Okay. You're gonna buy under market value, and then you're going, most of the times it could be a distressed house, or maybe you're gonna turn it into like a duplex or triplex, something like that. You're gonna add value to it. Okay. So one of the R's is like renovate. You're gonna renovate it, and then once it's fully renovated, you're gonna rent it out. You know, the reason why they do that is because if you're providing a property that is a little bit better in terms of condition and stuff, then obviously you can get a little bit higher rents. That's the whole
Yes.
point of it. Okay. And why is that good? Because by the time they go and they refinance, right? Because the bank's not going to refinance a distressed house. They want a house that is move-in ready, rent ready. That's why they have to
Yes.
renovate it first. The banks will look at it. They're like, okay, cool. The rents are high as well. So it means that we're going to add more income to the profile now, which means now they can actually go and refinance the property. And because they bought it under market value, they can actually do an equity takeout, like pull out as much equity as possible. So if you do it right, you could pretty much pull out all the money you put into the property, which is like your down payment, all of your carrying cost, the pay off the existing mortgage that you got on the property as well, and literally almost pretty much get the property for free. Okay. And then now you have an asset that actually cash flows. Now, here's where I'm gonna poke holes at this strategy, okay? Because a
Yes.
lot of gurus and people out there are selling stuff. Yeah, it's so easy, man. We can just go do burr after burr after burr because the last R means a repeat. But this
Pete.
is what they don't tell you. When you refinance, you need to understand that whoever is left on title, whoever is on that title, when you refinance, needs to actually qualify for a mortgage. Okay. Like a conventional mortgage.
Yes.
You do not want to refinance with a private lender, it will never cash flow.
No.
So, which means you have to qualify under bank rules, under bank guidelines, under the stress tests, right? And not only that, but see, most people think that because all the rents, they cover all the mortgage payments and stuff, that the bank's just going to magically hand over the money. It has nothing to do with that at all. It has everything to do with you being a borrower and being able to qualify as if you were going to go buy a house. Same thing. Okay.
Yes.
And then when they say repeat, well, yeah, if you make like $1 million on paper, you could probably repeat this over and over and over. But there will be a time based on your income, based on your credit, based on the debt you have, which includes the mortgage you just refinance, the bank will give you a certain amount of mortgage money to go buy the next one. Okay.
Yes.
So that's where I'll poke holes at it because straight up, I just see it too many times. People are like, yeah, you can go do this and do like 50 houses. No, you cannot do that because you still have to qualify under bank rules. That's
That's
the
very interesting.
reality
Yeah.
of it, you know? Yeah. I
That's
mean, it's
that's a
great
good.
if you do a couple and you get it for free and cash flow. It's great. Good job. But you're not going to do 10 of them. I guarantee you.
No, and most banks will limit the amount of mortgages they give a certain person too, right? So they go
Yeah.
5, 4, or something like that. But that's a good point. I mean, I never thought about it actually, and nobody ever talks about it that you might have to requalify for the next one. or you will have to requalify for the next one.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You
So
have to. Otherwise, you're stuck at the end of the road, and your only option now is, hey, I got to buy the next one with private, which is fine. You can do the acquisition, the next one with private, but on the refinance is where you're going to get
yeah.
screwed because you won't be able to refinance the private out.
So instead of buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat, we can go buy, renovate, sell. So BRS
Yeah,
or right?
pretty much, which is ultimately just fix and flip.
Yeah, fix and flip. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's it's a better way to look at it. I like that actually more, and especially to be honest with you, with all the bullshit that's happening with the tenants, and dealing with tenants,
Yeah.
that's something I don't want to deal with. I got client investors that are they have rental properties, and I mean, good luck with that. I don't want to be your property manager, but I'll buy you properties if you want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, man. And like you know me well enough, Elias. Like
yeah,
anybody who ever meets me, like I'm just gonna say how it is, you know. I'm always gonna be me. I'm always gonna say how it is because I'm the same way. I'm not a big fan of tenants. Now, don't get me wrong. I have rental properties as well
yeah,
because I keep them around for my kids, right? It's for generational wealth, so that when my kids are like 18, because I have two young boys, by the time they're like 18, 20, they're gonna have houses that are paid off. I'm gonna give them a head start. Okay.
yeah.
Do I want to be a super landlord with 100 tenants?
No,
Not really. I don't care what anybody says. It says, but you can have property management and all that. Yeah, sort of, but you got to understand, the property management company is still going to bug you every single time something goes wrong with your property. Okay, it's
oh yeah,
not truly passive income. Like I truly believe that there's no such thing as passive income. It will always require your effort, your energy, and most importantly, probably your most valuable asset, it will take your mind share away from you as well. Because now you have to actually use your mind share to go pay attention to what's going on with your rental properties.
yeah, yeah. No, that's true. And I like your point about rental properties for the kids, because right now we know everybody, going to school to college is very expensive. So that's what I tell people. If you want to buy an investment property to rent, just keep it until your kids go to college. This way, you sell it and give them the money to go to school.
Yeah,
Let it pay for their schooling. Don't let them take OSAP and stuff. Don't put your money in RESP or anything like that. You can.
absolutely. Yeah.
So that's the only way I would justify buying a rental property.
Well,
Yeah.
100%. And even on that, Elias, like I tell people all the time, I mean, listen, if you were going to contribute like say $500 a month into your RESP, or maybe I've seen people contribute $1,000 a month to their RRSP. Okay, I'm like, I would rather go and buy a rental property that loses $1,000 a month, okay, in
Hmm.
negative cash flow, because I know that rental property, even if I have to deal with the pain of tenants and fixing it up and this and that rental property, even though it's a negative cash flow, $1,000 a month, it will still always win in the long run. Like it will always beat the RESP. It will always beat the RRSPs. It will set your kids way, way further ahead than any RESP program could
Yeah,
ever do.
of
Right.
course.
So
Well,
that's what I mean. Like, I don't think rental properties are bad. I just think that, yeah, there's a right time and place for every investment.
like if you're investing your money in RESP, the bank or whatever institution that's taking your money, they're investing that money in real estate. That's how they're gonna give you your profit back.
Pretty much. Like they're just taking your money and reselling it all the time, man.
Yeah.
I it's crazy because I saw a tuition from like a college kid like a week ago. 1 year of college, right? It was like 20 grand. Okay, when I went to university, Elias, 20 grand covered me for like 4 years.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
And now today it's 20 grand. So imagine what that's going to look like 20 years from now. Do you really think that an RESP program where they give you like 7,200 bucks and some interest over time is really going to cover
No,
maybe one term?
no, no. They'll give you one probably 1 year's worth, and that's it.
Yeah,
Not even.
exactly, man. It's crazy and it's scary to think about, man. That's why I'm saying if you were willing to just take a negative cash flow loss, you didn't know where the heck to put your money, seriously, just you don't even need to be that smart about real estate. Just go, like, work with a realtor like yourself. Okay. Like, call Elias, just go buy a rental property and let it sit. Seriously. You know, if you have no time for real estate investing, at least do that. And then just let that property sit and let it do its thing for like 20 years.
Oh, that's very true. So let's talk about you, Sai. What you doing this on a daily basis, and somebody wants to get in. How can you help people, get into flipping homes and for profit and start the whole thing, do the first step.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a like a program designed. It's especially for Canadian real estate investors because I am a Canadian real estate investor. Basically it's designed for that rookie real estate investor who's Canadian, who wants to get into like wholesaling. I keep it that specific. Like I don't teach people how to go buy multifamilies or anything
Mm.
like that. It's not my jam. Everybody in my program they all want to accomplish the same thing. So it's all about wholesaling and yeah, that's basically what I teach them how to do. Let's just go flip some houses using no money down, teach them everything about sales, marketing, and just to get started in real estate investing. Because
All
here's
right.
the thing, if you know to wholesale real estate, the rest is easy. Okay. You know to find deals. Not only that, you're buying them at wholesale. So if you wanted to buy a couple of rentals or if you wanted to do some burrs, then go ahead and do it. We bought the property at wholesale anyways.
Yes.
You've already got instant equity just by putting the deal under contract. If you didn't want to assign it out or flip it to somebody else, just close it on your own. At least you got instant equity from the day you got the keys.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So you got this program going on. You've been doing it for a long time now. How many properties roughly you've done so far? Do you have an idea, or is that a big number?
I have like I don't really have like an idea anymore. When I quit my 9 to 5, it took me about 4 years.
All right.
Like when I went full time into this thing, like okay, when I quit my 9 to 5, it took me about 4 years. So that's what I mean. Like this isn't something that I don't want people to think this isn't like some get rich quick scheme where you can literally um quit your 9 to 5 in a year. Okay. It doesn't work like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, even the first 8 months, I was struggling just trying to figure out how all the pieces connect. And this was with the coach and a mentor as well. I didn't go in and learn this all by myself. Like I actually paid some serious money to go learn from some other people on how to do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took me like 4 years. I had to flip at least like I was like at 27 or something like that when
Mm.
I stopped counting. And that's what eventually got me to quit my 9 to 5. Because after like
Nice.
27, I was like, all right, I got a proven system. Like, yeah, this thing's gonna work. I feel confident enough that, you know what, I wouldn't never have to go back to the office and do it again. And now we're even doing it even bigger because before I was in just Ontario, I was in a smaller location,
Okay.
right? But now we're even doing it bigger. Like I'm going virtual right now. Well, we are already virtual actually all over the US too.
Nice.
So because times have changed. When I was doing this 10 years ago, we didn't have the tools, software and stuff available to us that allowed us to go virtual. So I was stuck in kind of like, just Ontario and in very specific areas. But now technology has made it even better, where basically we could wholesale, flip virtually. And so now I'm all over the US. Yeah, we're putting
Awesome.
deals together like every month, man. It's crazy.
Oh, that's insane, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one homeowner helped every month at least.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you invested in yourself with getting a coach, a business coach in the beginning, and now
Absolutely.
you can provide the same to people that want to get into this stuff, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. Elias, I'll be honest, I probably invested well over, yeah, like well over like $200,000 in personal development, Like
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding you, man. Um, and I started with coaching. Like that's something I started with to help me get me started. I've never stopped. In the last 10 years, I've always keep investing in myself. I feel like there's just so much valuable
Yeah.
information out there all the time. You can learn from so much good people. And now it's just like, hey, it's time for me to give back, right? So
Nice. So if somebody wanted to get into it, somebody that's listening to us right now, Sai, and they want to get into it, I would actually encourage them. And how can they get a hold of you?
Oh, well, easiest way is if you link my like free Facebook group into the interview, whatever. Like, yeah, just connect me at like come to my free Facebook group, you know. That's the
What
best way to
what's the
yeah, that's the
Facebook
best way
group
to
called?
it's to be honest with you, I don't I don't it's flipping houses, no down payment or something like that, but I'll drop the link here for you so at least you have
Okay,
it.
perfect.
Yeah. And that's the best way to do it because you know, you can go there, just get to know me a little bit. Like, listen, I'm not gonna try to sell you anything or anything like that. Like, I'm always just throwing value there anyways. And it's free. So you can go there and just check me out. That's the best way to get a hold of me.
So I'm gonna share it here with people as soon as I get this, because this is very important, right? Like a lot of people are always, um, you know, asking about this kind of stuff. What can we do to improve our way of life, improve our quality of life, and get ahead in this kind of world where people are just struggling to, you know, go from paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, I know. And you know, here's the thing, like I truly believe that at the end of the day, like, listen, if real estate is it's not for everybody, okay? But at the end of the day, we live in a digital world now where there's so much opportunity. I mean, you could literally make money with the phone and a laptop, okay? So there's
Yeah.
no excuse that you can get into a business and be profitable. You know, it's insane. Like just you wouldn't believe how what the opportunities are out there, like are that are available to you if you just look. I like real estate because all the zeros they multiply. So it just means that, you know, it helps you get to your goals faster because there's so many zeros in real estate.
No, that's true. Excellent. Well, that's great, Sai. I have your Facebook group here shared on screen. Can you see it? Yeah.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. So this way everybody can see it in the recording. Reach out to Sai. He's very knowledgeable, and I know for sure I learned a lot. So hopefully, people that are watching this, they can reach out to you and ask you a few questions and get the process started. This is something that um, is has been proven, ages. It's just a matter of, I guess, making a plan, putting a plan together and having the guts to get started, I guess, right?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Just it always just takes hard work, man. That's all it ever is.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you, Sai. I appreciate your time today. I know you got to pick up your kids. I got to pick up my kids. So it's good seeing you, my friend, and we'll chat soon.
Cool. Thanks for having me here, Elias. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right. Take care now.
Okay, bye.